sandwich business is apparently quite brutal. At least it is for the worker. Recently obtained employment agreements for sandwich maker Jimmy John's have an odd clause in it. That clause has been added to a class action lawsuit against the company for having supposed anti-worker policies. Now remember, they were recently getting in trouble for wage theft as well. So what's in this clause? It's a non-compete clause for a sandwich maker. Let me read it. Quote, employee covenants and agrees that during his or her employment with the employer and for a period of 2 years after, he or she will not have any direct or indirect interest or perform services for any business which derives more than 10% of its revenue from selling submarine, hero-type, deli-style, pita and or wrapped or rolled sandwiches, and which is located within 3 miles of either the Jimmy John's location in question or any such other Jimmy John's sandwich shop. So wait, you have a non-competition clause for making shitty sandwiches. What in the world? Look, I know there are companies out there that do have these clauses, and that's fine. But they're usually for, I don't know, somebody who has a higher skill set, I should say, or somebody working in a higher skill set field. Not low-wage food service. To me, I think it's kind of crazy and absurd. I mean, if you want to make an argument that, well, they signed it voluntarily, I don't really buy that because, I mean, yeah, you did sign it, but you normally don't work in food service if you have better options that are available. Normally. And with many people needing second jobs to make ends meet, that sort of limits your options on what places you can work at while working at this Jimmy John's. And especially after you stop working for them for a period of 2 years. It just seems crazy to me. You guys agree or disagree? Haven?
I completely disagree with this policy simply because it's you're making fucking sandwiches. So are you in trouble if like you help your daughter out with like a school fundraiser and you're making mini subs there and you're making money off of that? Is that going to be an issue? Like the skill set is not high enough to do a non-compete clause, and who would be the asshole that would leave Jimmy John's and go to Subway and be like, hey, I got the secret technique of how to do this rap, don't let anybody know this is some insider trading type shit. Like it's asinine, and it's another way that we're seeing these fast food companies try to dictate the lives of their workers.
I don't have a huge problem with it. Like, it's weird. Let me just say, first of all, it's totally weird, and it's stupid, and it's unnecessary. Like, I mean, I know somebody who worked at Jimmy John's who actually was affected by this policy, and they actually were arrested because they called me to leak the secret information about Jimmy John's sandwiches, which is so crucial that it must be protected by non-disclosure agreements, obviously.
I knew you were that asshole.
I'm totally kidding about that. But the thing that they don't want you to share is that if you have bread and then cheese on both sides of it, because cheese is square, it's like having 2 breads, and it's so overcomplicated and convoluted that you can only learn it there. All right, but to get to like the substantive point of this, it's like weird, but like there's no like illegality there. I think the only issue is what constitutes a sandwich. Because if a hot dog's a sandwich and you go to work at a hot dog cart, then what do? Is a burger a sandwich or is it just a burger? So like you get into some ambiguity there. But other than that, it's a non-compete clause. It's weird that it's for a low-wage job. It's not overly like invasive unless you live in a place where there's Jimmy John's everywhere, which I don't. And obviously Jimmy John's pays you so much that you can move from wherever you are to New York City where there's not a lot of Jimmy John's and open up your own sandwich place, which is what they're so worried about.
Jeff, can I add something to this? I didn't know this.
It's your turn.
I didn't know anything about Jimmy John's until the story tonight. I was Jimmy John's free. So I want to know less now. I'm just saying. I just wanted to add that, and anybody else, I don't know. But and Sean would be that asshole.
He would. Well, I have a Jimmy John's that's right down the street, so it's like I don't know what else this non-compete clause covers. Like a lot of these guys in my area, they ride bikes, so to deliver. So if they're riding their bike for Pizza Hut, does that count as a non-compete cause? And you can't do that. I mean, maybe how you pedal is this special way that gets you to your destination in less than 15 minutes. Who knows? Like
if that delivery place, if say Pizza Hut decides they want to make a pita, like a pita pizza or something like that, or a wrap, you can't work for them.
Yeah, you can't make the meatball subs there. Even though, like, can you really call anything from Pizza Hut a sandwich? Like, let's keep that real. But to my to get to my substantive point, like a non-compete agreement isn't illegal or anything, and they do sign it voluntary, despite what Jeff says. And it's weird that it's in a fast food place, but in Jimmy John's defense, this is a Republican attempt to appeal to women voters. Because if you work at Jimmy John's, then you never have to make your man a sandwich again. So, like, this is the Republican way of another failed way, but it is a Republican attempt to appeal to women voters. It was actually in their autopsy.
And I say, bitch, go back and make some cookies.